The Andy Pollin Show on ESPN 630, the sports capital.
All right, we got hype for this game. We got hype for the Commanders and the Eagles coming up on Sunday, and we're efforting to get Darrell Green here. We did a lot of radio with Darrell over the years, and he is an iconic player and an iconic person in this city, a big contributor to many things going on, the work that he's done with kids and education and all those type of things that he does. And we have him now. We have Darrell. Wait a minute, we got to dial him up. So let me just back this up and explain to you where Darrell is on the pantheon, not just of Washington football players, but on the Mount Rushmore of athletes in this area. And, sometimes you have to separate it out, homegrown versus traded for. John Riggins came here as something of a free agent. Sonny Jurgensen was traded for. But Darrell was homegrown and was here for 20 years and played corner as well as anyone has ever played the position. He holds a record which I don't think will ever be broken. 19 straight years with at least one interception, and is one of 5 players to have his number retired. And he's turning 65 next month. And if you were to see him on the street, you would think that he walked off the field yesterday. So I ask you, Darrell, if Dan Quinn said, do you have one more punt return in you, could you do it?
You better know it. You better know it. I'll be out there. Listen, I'm not answering the question. Can I do it? It's not can I do it. I'm going to try to do it.
Really?
I don't care what they say. I'm going to try to do it. No, I tell you, man, I'm excited, and I think I'd run out there and I don't care what happens. I just run out there. I got it, Coach. But but no, I probably could. You know what? Let me just tell you this. Did you see my last game where I ran that punt return?
Yeah, I thought you were taking it to the house. Yeah, I thought you were going all the way.
Listen. Well, here's the honest truth. When I went in the locker room and y'all had, they had that up on the video, and I looked at that and I said to myself, man, I made the right decision, because that should have been a couple years prior. Oh, that was 6 points. That was 6 points. Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, when I looked at it with my own eyes, I said, wow, D, you made the right decision. And, really, I remember now, that was 2 months from my 43rd birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, that
was 2 months from my 43rd birthday. So I was 43 years old running that punt. But, yeah, so I know. I still try to go out there again. But I'm probably, I don't know. They knocked the crap out of me. They knocked the crap out of me.
Well,
but I get up all excited. I'd be happy.
A lot of players, especially ones who played as long as you do, in retirement will watch a game. And did you ever get the feeling, maybe not in the last few years, but in the first few years you were retired, that, hey, I think I could get out there for another game or another few plays? Did you ever have that feel or no?
No, I know. When I left, I didn't have any sense about trying to play anymore. I was, I'm heading where I'm headed. I'm out the door. I never, people say, man, you missed the game, man. I mean, I don't mean this in a bad way, but no, I didn't miss it. I didn't have any. I was done. I mean,
yeah.
Goodness, 20 seasons. I can't. I'd be crazy. I want to keep playing. No, man, go your butt home, get your grandkids, and go play in the yard.
Speaking of grandkids,
I was.
By the way, I know it was at 17. Are you at 17 or 18 by now?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know. I had a daughter when I first got here, and her and her husband have 5 kids. That's
Wow.
what makes the 17. The kids that everybody know, Jared, Jarrell, and Joy, my wife Joel from D.C., they have 12. Jared has 4 girls. Jarrell has 5 girls. Joy has 2 boys and 1 girl. And my daughter Crystal in Texas, she has three girls and 3 boys and one and two girls. So that's the 17. But the people that know me, they know I have the 12 here. So 17 is exactly right, man. And I'm so, I'm blessed. My wife was from here. I met her my rookie year, Tyson's Corner Mall, and got married a few months later. And, man, it's just been such a blessing to me. I wish these guys could experience what I experienced. That's why I love D.C. This is my home. This is my community. That's what gets me so excited. And I'm going to just take one moment to say, and that Washington Redskins and the Commanders, they mean so much more to this community than people realize. And I was on Fox this morning. They were talking about the bandwagon. I said, listen, people had the right to jump off this bandwagon. They should have jumped off it because the team had no longer been I'm not talking about just winning. They were no longer responsible to be who they Darrell Green has to be a certain person in this community. That's what leadership is. And they should have jumped off. But I'm hoping they're all back. And it's not just because we're winning, but because we are an organization of integrity and character and commitment and concern for others. And we do our job in being responsible and giving to our community. So everybody, I believe we are worthy, not just because of the winning, but I believe the organization is worthy of you taking a look, maybe buying a ticket, buying a jersey, coming back. I think they deserve it. I think they're worthy of it, and they're getting better. And I don't mean to, I'm not even talking about football. I'm talking about the organization that you all knew we were.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, actually, I was going to ask you about that because I know that Mitch Rales, who along with Josh Harris bought the team, Mitch said that the first call he made after buying the team was to you. And in the 20 years that you had been retired, 20-plus years, you had not really been visible. Was that the organization's choice or your choice, and why?
Well, primarily it was their choice, and it was my choice to respond to their no choice, and my choice to respond to their no accountability, no sense of respect and responsibility to our community. So theirs and mine.
Yeah.
You don't want me, and guess what? I don't want you. So yeah. So it was both of us.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate. I'm serious. I love this community. The Redskins brought me here, and it was a blessing and an honor. And people, listen, how many people have ever thought about? Have you ever thought about why did Darrell Green only play for one team when he was on the picket line, the strike? Remember when Darrell Grant hit that bus?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when the strike went down, the scab?
87, yeah.
Darrell Green was on his way to the Hall of Fame, but he didn't go play for another team. Guys, God told me not to do that. So I was brought to this place and kept and established here for something greater than myself. And I think I've been able to benefit, at least from my little part that God has called me to. And so now I take this stuff very seriously, and I don't know. I don't ask another guy to say don't leave and don't go get that money. But I didn't go get the money, and I didn't chase the fame, and I didn't chase the women. I just did my job and tried to live in such a way with such exposure that I had as a professional football player to bring very value and benefit to the community. And that's what I think we are positioned as an organization, and as these young men grow and we help them gain this kind of insight, then I think that it's healthy for our community. We need them to be great on the field, but we need them to be even greater off the field and bring value. And last thing I'll say is this. You know and I know that people are smiling, saying thank you, yes, sir, thank you, appreciate that. When we're winning like this, it puts something in the air. Hey, how you doing? How you doing today? Good to see you. Hey, you like some of this? Oh, well, thank you so much. You get and do we need that as a nation and a community? Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, yeah, and look,
it may sound crazy to some people, but it does bring it.
Now, what you've done in the community, people know that the work you do with kids and education, and the working relationship you have with the mayor's office, and the relationship you now have with the team. You know that the RFK bill has passed in the Senate, and there's the effort to get the stadium built in Washington. Have you been asked to play a role in that? And if you are, would you?
Well, here's the interesting thing. The new president, you talked about Josh calling me on day one. The new president reached out to me on day one.
Huh.
And so there's no official anything, and there's no promise or ask or whatever. But I'm hoping that they'll have me all over this thing because if I can be of value. If I can be of value, and they're gonna have to pay me. I ain't gonna do it for free. They'd have to pay me. I mean, I take care of my family. I got all these grandkids. But I'm not calling them saying, "Hey, give me your spot." That's not my thing. But man, to help at any level, use my expertise, my influence. I love to do that, but I'm not vying for them to call me. They call me if they call me. But yeah, I'd love to be involved, and I can tell you right now, I'm a huge Mayor Bowser fan. She is the darling of the city now. She basketball, football. Mm-hmm. Those are two important organizations in our community. Of course, there are many other more valuable things in our community, but she has shown herself to be a great leader. In my humble opinion, and I'm not a politician. I don't stand on either side with anybody. I stand alone. But I will say that from terms of her, she's done some great things that have benefited our city, and I was grateful for the key to the city, and I'm grateful for their efforts in trying to get this stadium back, because that would have been a travesty. What a pain. That would be such a bad deal. I mean, if we let this team when it had the opportunity to come back here, not get back here. So,
all right. Yeah, no question.
That's
but
my
by the
feeling
way,
on it. That's my feeling on it.
But can you share anything that the old president, told you when he called you?
No, it wasn't. It was the same thing with Josh Harris. Mm-hmm. It was this whole idea of, Darrell, we acknowledge you. We recognize you for who you are and the value to this team, and we want your voice. We want you. You have access to our door. Our ear is yours. We just and I'll just say something that I heard. I heard this that I heard that they even and I may not even see him tell you this, but I just love it. And I believe it's true, that they even went and grabbed Doug Williams and all but apologized to him for the way he had been treated.
Yeah.
And said, we don't have to apologize, but just on behalf of the organization, we'll apologize. And I see Doug is in the organization. I don't know what he's doing or whatever, but I see him and I see a smile on his face. I see him in the locker room. And, that means a lot to me for more than one reason. Because I know the Bobby Mitchell story. He was the last team to get an African American.
Yep.
Doug Williams was the first. Somebody asked the question, could the NFL story be told without Doug Williams' story? Well, no, it can't, because if you're going to have a whole story, you got to tell it, and Doug Williams has to be a part of that. So I'm humbled by these men. They don't owe us anything. No player, no ex-player, they don't owe us a thing. But to have the kindness and the humility to allow us, who were part of the history of it, I think it's really noble.
No question.
I appreciate them.
No question.
But they don't owe me anything. They don't owe me one red thing. So
we owe you. We owe you as a fan base, and we're talking to the great Darrell Green, Hall of Famer. I got a couple of football questions for you before I let you go. One. You heard Herm Edwards maybe say that he coached Jaden Daniels the first couple of years at Arizona State, that he compares him to Randall Cunningham. You played against Cunningham a bunch of times. Do you buy that comparison?
Well, gosh, that's a good comparison. I think that Jaden Daniels has something more. Mm-hmm. And trust me, I'm not knocking my guy, because Randall Cunningham, he gave you fits. But I think Jaden Daniels just has a different – he's got another thing on him that I can't completely articulate. But that kid he's one in a million. The balance, the mental balance, just his humility, he's different, man.
He is.
And please don't get me mixed up. I'm telling you that Randall Cunningham kicked my butt, and he gave me headaches.
Yeah.
But this young man and I haven't played against this young man. I'll probably pick him off anyway. But anyway, this young man.
He could probably run you down, too.
Special,
he's fast enough to run you down.
I'll run it. Yeah. Yeah, the running down stuff, that's not a problem. But no, Jaden Daniels, man, he is, I tell you, I love that kid. I met him one time. And I met him in Detroit at the draft. He was in the door, of a hotel where you have the door, the one door, and then you go in between these two doors. And these people had him hemmed up. I literally rescued him.
Good for you.
I just, hey, Jaden, and kind of just got the people to and then got him out of that. But that's the first time I've ever, and only time I've ever really met him and said hello. And that wasn't really a real hello.
Yeah.
But no, I love that kid as a human. I think he's excellent. And he's certainly the hero of our community in terms of football. But I want to see him and his group out here, like the old Darrell Green on the street with the kids in the community and impacting our city. So,
yeah.
But they're doing their part on the job.
So. No, they really have. They've done a good job, and they've done a good job as a team in reaching out to people like you, the great alumni from the team. The other question would be about what Dan Quinn does on fourth down. And as someone who played defense for 20 years, I mean, it's like, look, Darrell, I mean, you got to figure, you stop a team on like 3rd and 5, you go, phew, did our job, time to get a drink of water, the other team's going to punt or kick a field goal. But 4th and 5 to him is like 3rd and 5. What does that do to a defense when you're facing that type of situation?
Man, let me tell you something. Golly. Man, you hate that man for that. You on defense, you're breaking the rules. You're supposed to punt this ball. We're out in 3. Let's get out in 3. Man, it will break your heart. It breaks your heart. You hate that. I remember the field goal kicker that kicked and I can't remember his name. He's in the Hall of Fame. He kicked for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he was gonna hit 55. As soon as they get to the 45, we knew they had points. It's those types of things that you just hate. It's like it breaks the rules.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to hit a field goal from 55, 60. You shouldn't go on 4th down, and it just kills you. And I'm glad I'm on this team. Oh, my gosh. It's interesting, Andy, that you're thinking about that. That tells me your acumen in football. That's a unique thing that you picked up. That mess kills you.
Yeah,
it kills you.
So it's what it is and you see it's sort of like a mental letdown for the defense as well, because you think you've done your job setting up 4th down.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's breaking the rules. He's breaking the rules. Come on, man, you can't do that. You're supposed to punt this ball. And then Jaden Daniels throws some kind of a bullet or runs the ball, and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Last thing.
Hey, listen, you got big points with me for coming up with that one, dude.
Okay, good. I'm glad to have big points. And by the way, Zabe says you still owe him a bunch of pretzels from our shows back in the day at Tyson's Corner, just to let you know.
Oh man, yeah. He could have got us some Pringles or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Last thing, you played in 4 NFC Championship games. You went to 3 Super Bowls. You went 3-1 in those championship games, losing the game to the Giants. What's the difference walking off the field knowing you're going to the Super Bowl versus, hey, the season has come to a crashing end there?
Oh my gosh, when you're 8-8 and you guys are crap, you're going home, you got your stuff packed, at the last game, your car is packed.
Yeah.
But when you're in that situation and you get into that last 3-4 minutes and you know that you're going to the Super Bowl or you're going home, those two things, that one or the other, that is such exhilaration, or that is like demoralizing as well. That's that 4th down, going on 4th down on steroids. Yeah, that's a bad feeling.
Yeah, no question.
That's a bad feeling, because how many players get to that moment, and if you don't seize that moment, I mean, oh my gosh, yeah, that's your highest high or your lowest low. Yeah, this is some serious stuff, guys, and that's why I like our chances, because our team just kind of have that kind of.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, they just they don't feel it. They just doing it, and and that kid Daniels, he's made that way. He don't feel it, and you have to be. You can't be. You're born that way. Matter of fact, I'll just put it that way. It's like cornerbacks. The great corners, we're not made. We're born.
Oh yeah.
I'm born to either let that guy catch that ball, or the guy catches the ball and they spin the ball and screaming and the fans cussing me in the end zone in New York, or for me to knock that ball down and intercept it. I'm born for that. I can live with both.
Yeah. Well, look,
I can live through either one.
If this team wins on Sunday, I nominate you to be the honorary captain for the coin flip in the Super Bowl, and I hope somebody picks up on that, and you should be a part of that because you deserve it. You really do.
Well, that would be excellent. I brought the Super Bowl trophy to the Philadelphia Eagles. If we get a shot at it, I'd love to give it to us.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
You should. Hey, Darrell, great to catch up with you. Thanks so much, and continued success, and I hope you are a part of the effort to bring the stadium back to D.C. I think that'd be great.
Hey, we get this thing done. Let's talk next week.
Absolutely. Take care. I will do that. Thank you, Darrell.
All right.
That's Darrell Green, great player and a great part of the city as well. It's the Andy Pollin Show, ESPN 630.